The immigrant experience is something that I love in films, and especially when it comes to the conflict of cultures. And this new film called Minari, it's a Sundance Award winner, and one of the stars of the movie is Esther Moon, and she joins us right now. And this is really, it's a mind-blowingly beautiful film, but very gut-wrenching. Hi, how are you, Esther?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Well, am I right? Is it it's like soaring and also really, really frustrating. Tell me about the experience of making this film.
Oh God. Just like you said, it's gut-wrenching, it's heartwarming. You feel, every spectrum of emotions, you just feel it all. It was so fun. It was so fun working.
So let me set this up. It's a Korean American family that moves from Los Angeles to, of all places, Arkansas, and that's actually going on right now. People are moving all over the place. So this family lands in a really, it's much more foreign than L.A. to go to Arkansas. Tell me about the process there and how your character fits into that whole process.
Yeah, so the family moves to Arkansas to help because the dad has this dream of building a farm. But to make money, both the mom and the dad in the film, Steven Yeun and Yeri Han, they work at a chicken hatchery doing chicken sexing, which is where you divide the male and females. Mm-hmm. And so I'm someone who works at the chicken farm, and I befriend them. I befriend the wife, Monica, and I kind of like show her the ropes. Not everything made it into the film, but she's, I befriend her in the film and kind of tell her what's going on and give her some encouragement.
But moving to a place like Arkansas, because you have the Southern thing, you have the religious thing, and then they have a child who's all American, and yet he's kind of torn between the two cultures.
Right. That's not exclusive to just going to the South, because even me growing up, I was straddling both cultures. My parents were first generation, and I was born in Korea, but came when I was very young. So I was American, and just straddling those two worlds. You leave your front door and you take on this other, the American Esther. You come back home and immediately you become Korean Esther, speaking Korean, and, your mannerisms change, how you deal with people change. So yeah, it was, and I thought the movie did such a great job showing that, especially through the eyes of the little boy, Alan Kim, who was, he was so cute. But I thought it did such a great job at showing, things through his perspective, but then also you feel so much for the parents. So yeah, oh my goodness. And then the grandma.
The grandmother's amazing.
She's amazing. She's a famous veteran actress in Korea, and I'm so glad she's getting recognition here. Yeah.
Tell me about that, because that's last year at the Academy Awards, a Korean film that won big, surprised everyone that wasn't in the film business. Basically, it said, "What about this film? What's going on in South Korea that is making this such a special and moving enterprise?" Tell me about how that has changed and how that has maybe helped or hurt you in your career.
Right. Well, South Korea, for people who are in the film industry, who know the movie business, South Korea has been producing amazing films for, at least the last 2 decades. And there are some amazing actors, performers, writers, directors, Yeo Jung-yoon, who just got a SAG award. She's been nominated and has been winning awards, the grandma. She just got nominated again for a Best Supporting Actress for the SAG Awards that was announced. I'm so happy that they're getting this, not just in the industry kind of recognition, but just mainstream recognition. There's been a lot of discussion since Parasite swept award season last year. There's been a lot of discussion amongst Asian American actors about, does this help us? Does this hurt us?
Is it a foreign film? Is it a domestic film? Should we even call them foreign films? What do we do? Yeah.
We're not Asian. We're Asian American, but we're not American. And for sure, it's great exposure for South Korean cinema and South Korean performers. I'm hoping just all that exposure helps us too.
in my business, I was mostly in the news business, but in television, a good story is a good story is a good story. It doesn't matter what language you speak or what country you're from. So congratulations. I mean, this is fantastic what's happening. And perhaps it's a maturing of the movie industry, right?
I hope so. I mean, it's very exciting to see all the films that are getting, attention, especially Minari. It's been amazing for the cast and production for Minari.
Well, you have a big heart. You volunteer an awful lot. You help children out. You've got you're involved in the cancer foundations. And tell me a little bit about why you feel you need to be that giving and that open about what you love to do to help.
It's hard to answer why, but I am drawn to it. What you mentioned about cancer foundations, I'm a breast cancer survivor. So just on a personal level, I'm so thankful that I can call myself a survivor. So I'm so supportive of organizations that help patients get through it, but also family members too, because it would be so hard to, get through that whole cancer journey battle without the support of family and friends. So we are such supporters of, any organizations that help that. And we may not have everything, but we do have a lot. And so, that's part of it. Part of it is, we know we're so blessed. And so we want to give back. But I don't know, there are just certain issues that, we are particularly just drawn to. And, in our little way, in our small ways, we want to contribute.
Well, I appreciate your good heart, and you're a tremendous actress, and I wish you the best of luck. Minari is a terrific film. It's a definite must-see. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.